What's up, everyone, and welcome. The saga continues to continue. Just like when REvil disappeared in July and then reappeared in early September, everyone has been kind of caught off guard. Well, not really everyone, but this time the authorities and security experts in multiple countries came together to take advantage of a mistake made by a REvil group and rip the gang from the internet. There's some key things we can learn from this incident, so as always, stick around to find out how you can use the learnings in your own security plan, policies, and processes.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
The REvil ransomware gang is unhappy with its happy blog, leak site, and Tor payment site pushed offline yet again, this time by a multi-country battering ram. Relying on input from 3 private sector cyber experts working with the US and 1 former official, Reuters reported on Thursday that the ransomware-as-a-service gang has been given a taste of its own medicine. Specifically, the hackers who took out REvil servers did it by compromising REvil's backups. VMWare head of cybersecurity strategy Tom Kellermann told Reuters that those hackers were actually law enforcement and intelligence agencies from multiple countries. The FBI, in conjunction with Cyber Command, the Security Service, and like-minded countries, have truly engaged in significant disruption actions against these groups, Kellermann, an advisor to the U.S. Security Service on cybercrime investigations, said. REvil was top of the list. According to Reuters sources, last month, REvil operators restored operations from a backup that it turns out was under government control.
I command you to be a rabbit.
REvil operators, including a top leader called Zero Any Day, restored the group's websites from a backup last month without realizing that law enforcement were controlling some of the gang's internal systems. Reuters quoted Oleg Skulkin, deputy head of forensic lab at the Russian-led security group IB. The REvil ransomware gang restored the infrastructure from the backups under the assumption that they had not been compromised. Ironically, the gang's own favorite tactic of compromising the backups was turned against them. It's ironic given that backups are seen as the top way to protect organizations from ransomware attacks. If an entity can just restore systems from backups, then they don't have to pay to get a decryptor key to unfreeze their seized systems, the thinking goes. Ransomware attackers know that, hence, they make a science out of demolishing backups to prevent their victims from shrugging off attacks and restoring operations from those backups in the wake of an attack. There have been rumblings about REvil getting sucker punched for a while. Last week, Flashpoint reported that on October 17th, the REvil operator announced that the ransomware group was shutting down its presence on the high-tier Russian language forum, XSS, after their domain had been hijacked. The threat actor explained that an unidentified person had used the private Tor keys of the group's former spokesperson, unknown, to access the REvil domain. This is the second time in a few months that REvil servers have gone belly up. The first time was on July 13th. After the July 2021 shutdown, REvil operators believed that Unknown had disappeared. Some believed that the spokesperson had died. But then, somebody used Unknown's keys. The REvil operation stated that the REvil domain was accessed using Unknown's keys, confirming their concerns that a third party has backups with their service keys, according to Flashpoint's write-up. Over the weekend, Zero Naday posted a message on the XSS cybercrime forum saying that REvil's domain had been accessed with unknown keys. In an XSS message captured and posted to Twitter by the record's Dmitry Smilyanets, Zero Naday said they were throwing in the towel. According to the Flashpoint, a REvil operator confirmed that whoever had hijacked REvil's sites had also deleted Zero Naday's access to the gang's hidden admin server.
How many lumps do you want?
Oh, 3 or 4.
REvil had recently begun to recruit new affiliates on the RAMP forum. Flashpoint pointed out that the group was offering unusually high commissions of 90% to attract affiliates. Now, it's not surprising to hear that the rehashed ragtag REvil reboot would feel the need to woo new affiliates with higher payouts. In September, news broke that REvil had conned its own affiliates out of ransomware payments by using double chats and a backdoor that let REvil operators hijack ransom payments. A day later, those affiliates took to the top Russian language hacking forum Exploit to renew their demands for REvil to fork over their pilfered share of ransom payments. Flashpoint noted that XSS users had been genuinely incredulous when REvil joined the RAMP forum. On October 18th, the XSS moderators closed the thread where REvil made its pitch for new affiliates and advised fellow users to block REvil accounts. The Underground is undoubtedly unsurprised by this new REvil takedown. They interpreted it as a proof that the gang's reemergence in September was part of an elaborate FBI plot to catch REvil affiliates, as Flashpoint described a Lockbit representative's take on the news. Several threat actors agreed with the Lockbit representative and added that they believe that REvil will reemerge again under a totally new name, leaving behind recent scandals without having to pay out old affiliates, according to Flashpoint's write-up. So, what can we learn? Well, one, now I've been asked numerous times in various platforms, when is the U.S. going to step up or take their gloves off? And this story shows that the U.S. is doing just that. In the past, the course has always been more diplomatic, like asking countries harboring malicious groups to deal with it internally. Now that really never worked. Now, however, we see a coordinated effort to use the same tactics that ransomware gangs use themselves against themselves. Next, we need to look at backups. We, or I, say in almost every episode, backup, make backups of your backups and put them in the freezer, or some statement like that to give you a kind of a funny image. But this is still true. But what happened here? The good guy hackers infiltrated the REvil backups so that when REvil used them to get back online, the good guys had access or control of the systems. They planted backdoors and access control features into the backups or the infrastructure, or they maintained keys and credentials so that they could regain access to the system. So what does that have to do with you? A lot. Hackers can spend anywhere from a few hours up to months in your system. In that time, they're doing recon and stealing data, but they can also be setting your backups with, or assaulting your backups with backdoors. So you might be super happy and get pats on the back from the big boss because you have backups and you got your system back online without paying a ransom, but chances are that the evil guys have a backdoor implanted into that backup. So you got to scan those backups very carefully. You have to change everyone's credentials and take the necessary precautions to ensure that the newly launched systems cannot be compromised by the attackers again. So, there you go. With that, I say thanks again for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Don't forget to ride. Farewell.